Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Ahnaris, and today we're here watching game number 2 from the Z-Cup Best of 3 match between DieStar, who is spawning as the Purple Terran, in the 3 o'clock position against his Zerg opponent, VortiX, down in the 6 o'clock position. So like I said, this is game number 2. Game number 1 took place on Blistering Sands. Pretty exciting matchup. If you haven't already checked that out, make sure you do so before watching this video. Don't know if I'm going to accidentally give away any spoilers or anything like that. But this is taking place on Metalopolis. This is one of the original Blizzard maps from the latter rotation. This is also a map from the StarCraft 2 beta. Speaking of the beta, we're coming up almost, not quite there, but almost on the 1 year for StarCraft 2. Should be in July 27th, 2011. So still a few months away, but time certainly does fly when you are playing like crazy on the ladder, which is exactly what I've been doing the past couple days. I think I've got, I don't know, 70, 80 games, usually about 2 days, so a lot of time, but just went on a StarCraft 2 frenzy. Oh man, I don't know what happened to me, but I just felt the need to play StarCraft 2 a ton. I'm sure you've all felt that at some point or another. So now we have DieStar going to be looking like he is walling off here at the top of the ramp. Pretty typical strategy against Zerg, as I've mentioned before. You know, provides defense against those early rushes, don't allow any sort of run-by with the Zerglings, anything of that nature. And notice that VortiX has not actually scouted with a drone. He's just using his Overlord right now, sending it over to the 9 o'clock position, and now heading up towards probably the 12, and then backing around. Sometimes you also have the Overlords pop over here, but this can be a well-traveled area, so got to watch out. You don't want to leave it too vulnerable to wandering Marines, passerby, anything of that sort. Certainly DieStar would be looking for an Overlord to kill, as he is actually sitting in SCV, going to be scouting out his opponent as we speak, heading over to the first position. This is actually the closest position to scout, so I'm not surprised that we're seeing this SCV come down here and finding the Zerg player first. I don't believe this Overlord actually saw the SCV popping in there, so he might not actually be aware still of where the Terran player is. But we look at the build right now, we see VortiX going with a pretty similar build that we saw in game number 1, going for that speedling upgrade. And notice he's actually transferred 2 of the drones off of gas and now working on minerals. Minerals? Did I say minerals? I mean minerals. I don't know what minerals are. Minerals' evil twin cousin. Sound like I need an MS Paint job for that. And anyways, so Terran working on a pretty traditional build himself. We see him going with the, he got the depot at 10, he got the barracks at 12, gas at 13, and now we're seeing him throw down a factory. So again, this is actually something we saw in game number 1, and I think it's great positioning on the map, like these 2 starting players for this strat to work, because they're so very close to one another. And you saw in game number 1, it worked super well. Look at that Zerglings coming up there just a second too late, man. Could have got in there and done some serious scouting if they'd lived past the Marines. But one thing I do want to point out, you see with that those extra 2 drones pulled off, getting those minerals up a little bit quicker. You know, with that SCV running around, VortiX kind of, you know, fooling with his opponent's mind a little bit, showing him what he wanted to see. But when that SCV was gone, he threw down a Roach Warren, and you see no expansion yet. Got plenty of money saved up there, got a decent bit of gas too. Got 3 roaches on the way. He still did get that Zergling speed upgrade. That's always a very good upgrade to have. I mean, even if you're going with something like roaches, like he's doing probably a 1 base push in just a minute or 2, judging by the timing of it. And you know, he's probably thinking he's going to catch the Terran player off guard a little bit. The Terran player is probably expecting the same build from game number 1, honestly. I mean, that's just based on his scouting and experience from the previous game. You know, it's enough to reach that conclusion, without too much scouting at least. But that lack of scouting really is could be his undoing. We see actually one roach. What the heck is up with these roaches? They're just skittering along without skittering. Alright, well, game mechanics. They're serious business. Got 7 roaches here, a couple Zerglings as well. Here at the base of the ramp, there are 2 Marines. We see there's also a couple Marauders, and these Marauders could put a big dent in this plan, as they are very effective against armored units. We see actually the Zerg player trying to bust down this ramp. SCV is coming off the line as well, going to try to take some of this damage, block these roaches, keep them from really getting in the base. He's there doing a great job of that. Look at that, man. SCV is doing a fantastic job keeping those roaches there for as long as they did, and now there's even more SCVs going to be coming off. Again, tried to put some put a buffer in between the Marauder and the roaches, because the Terran player is knowing, he's probably thinking to himself right now, alright, if I can just make it through this, I know I'm going to be in a pretty darn good position. Recovering economically is pretty darn easy, considering the fact that they've got the Mule, and that really can compensate for the loss of some SCVs there. A Mule just dropped and was mining on the farthest away patch. I do like the placement of that. He realizes that, DieStar realizes that the place least likely to be affected by that roach incursion can be right along here. And so you see he's actually brought over some SCVs from the gas, putting them back on the minerals there, and is continuing to build up his Marauders. He sees that, look at the gas right now, 150 gas and about 15 minerals. Well, what are you missing right now from this equation? You need Marauders to counter what's probably going to be roach defense. Then, you know what? Get some SCVs working over there. And there's that second Mule as well. So that's good stuff. Terran well prepared for that. Handled that very well. And VortiX actually working on his economy now. Now, this is a little bit of a risky move, doing this particular strat that he did. It, considering the positions on the map, I would say it was a very good thing to try, because, like I said, they're very close to one another right now. I think probably 80% of the matches I watch on this map with these two spawning positions, either that or here and here, are over in the first, 20 minutes tops. So that's just how it goes. And look at this right here, man. 3 Hellions going to be coming over here. Do they have that flame upgrade? I wasn't paying attention. Yes, it looks like they do, but there are 2 spine crawlers here. It's going to be more than enough to deter any sort of harassment. The important thing is the Hellions did come over here. They see the defenses. They realize kind of what the Zerg's doing. He's... Die's probably thinking, alright, well, the Zerg has got his expansion after that attack. He had to invest a lot of money into those roaches, and I know I'm going to be better off economically, at least for a little while, just because I'm Terran and I'm awesome. And I can make these Marauders with the Stim and Concussive Shells upgrade that'll be great against what the Zerg has. Combined with these Hellions, you see some great pressure right here. The Zerglings can't really do a darn thing, man. Marauder and Hellion with that flame upgrade, it's just so very lethal. Great counterattack right here, taking advantage of the fact that VortiX does not have its Spire up yet, so don't need the anti-air here for the Terran player. Doesn't need it at all, because there's no air to fight. All he's going to worry about right now are a few Broodlings who will be angry for about 2 seconds here, as I do have a little bit of lag. Not sure what's up with that, but bringing down a couple more forces, more than enough to deal with it right now. You look, not just the army size, you can see 51 to 36, but the composition. DieStar has directly counters everything that the Zerg player has here. You got those Hellions, they're just roasting so many Zerglings. Look at that, 8, 10. Wow, pretty good stuff there. 6. We got 3 on that one, so plenty of kills, and those Hellions definitely earned their pay for this month. So that's going to conclude game number 2, folks. We have DieStar with a fantastic counterattack, catching the Zerg before he's really able to get back on his feet from that one base play that we saw at the beginning of the game. So let's go on to match number 3, which I'm not sure exactly what map it is on, but I'm sure whatever map it is on, it will be epic, and we'll find out who wins the series.